All right, we're live, guys. What's going on? Welcome to another Chopping It Up. We're at number 44. Moff, how you doing, brother?
What's going on? What's happening? Good to be back.
Yeah, we're not running the intro today because we got our last show taken down by YouTube. Apparently, some violation because the sizzle reel at the intro has very minor, like for a screenshot of like somebody shooting firearms, and it's like that's what you get on YouTube, guys.
It's where we live in now.
So that's where we're at. Anyway, got a cool show for you today. I got a bit of a cold, so don't mind my voice. Some people like that sound, others don't. Moff, I forgot to tell you before we started, I had an interview this afternoon with a New Zealand news station, and they were talking about the crisis of masculinity and stuff.
Oh, so I remember you getting that email. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was the bad guy that was,
of course.
The toxically masculine guy, commenting on that stuff. And it was, it's funny because there was a guy that was an MMA fighter who was in studio in New Zealand who was talking about his work with boys and men and stuff like that. And they were like going through my content. It's like, oh, well, you say that, men shouldn't engage with women that have children from a prior relationship. I'm like, yeah, there's no upside. There's no benefit. There's just extra layers of complication. Well, I married a woman with a small child. I'm like, well, good for you. It's
okay.
No better not to do that. I go, it's just a problem. Plus, you're a cuckold. Well, what's a cuckold? You don't know what a cuckold is, and it's like sometimes these conversations with these mainstream faces, man, they just don't get it. Like it's like, everybody they had on this panel was basically reciting lines to fix the problem, which involved making better betas. It was like a whole build a better beta show, right? And the funniest part of the whole segment, because it was like 30 minutes long, was one of the newscasters was talking about strong women, and then they mentioned what the fuck's her name? Jacinta something or other, the lady that was the prime minister of New Zealand during the COVID lockdown. The lady with the big teeth.
Oh yeah, the car with the one with the coke problem. Yeah,
the one with the coke problem. And I'm like, you guys are going to put her up on a pedestal, the one that locked you guys harder than any other country on the planet during this scamdemic? Like, oh, we're not going to talk about that. I'm like, oh yeah,
of course we're not. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that, are we? Yeah, of course.
We're zip around like certain topics as it's convenient, but it's like mainstream media, man. All they do, it's like let's talk about how to build a better beta. That's it. That's all they want to do. They don't want to hear any opinion that's different from theirs. But it's like,
yeah, and clearly it's working. Clearly it's awesome. Clearly everything's amazing. Clearly everything is trending upwards. So we should continue doing this and making men terrible versions of women. We should just continue doing it because things are working so well.
Yeah, that's all.
We should be tripling down.
Like bringing solutions to the table, which is all build a better beta, right?
Yeah.
Anyway,
as always,
what do we got here for tonight's show with? Oh, Men Don't Need Sex. Is that the Lilia Rose?
That was the first one. Yeah. Like I didn't know you had seen that. I saw you posted that a couple hours after. So that's the one thing I grabbed off X, but the other stuff is like some Q&A and some viewer questions. So we can go through the X stuff first. We can do whatever you want.
No, let's do the Q&A and the viewer questions. We'll do the X stuff later. We'll do the social.
All right. Let's rip through that. So
what do you got?
All right. We got, how many do I have? Let's see. 1, 2, we got like 5 of them. So I'm going to go ahead and see what we got here. Well, I had the link to one, but I'm worried that it got, he might have deleted it. Okay. All right. Let's go back to, here's a good one. Navigating red flags.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a little bit of a long one, but this is a good one. So question is, how should a man navigate a long-term relationship when the red flags or the character shifts don't show up until much later, a year or more in, after the quote-unquote mask comes off and her true nature starts to emerge? So here's some more context. For example, my LTR began with all the right signs. She was relatively agreeable compared to other women I've dealt with, conservative, not a party girl, emphasized independence, personal growth, and being a compliment rather than a burden to my mission. She said from day one she wants a man to lead, take charge, and quote-unquote be the man of the relationship. These are all things I considered green flags and traits I was looking for in a woman, but over time this shifted. She became more jealous, lately to the extreme, needy, and disagreeable. Yet oddly enough, she still upholds traditional gender roles in many ways. But if I look at the behavior as of late, I don't see this as something long-term after all. When I say something, she's your typical westernized woman who lacks the ability to take any sort of accountability and tries to deflect, turn it around on me, or just shuts down and tell me that I'm being narcissistic or angry.
Oh, yeah.
My question is, When these shifts happen deep into a relationship, how do you discern whether it's a phase, a deeper issue, or just proof that the LTR vetting process revealed who she really is? And more importantly, what are the best ways to course correct or walk away when it no longer aligns, especially